Hi, I'm Kenney Baden, and welcome back to the Law and Crime Network. This afternoon on For the Record, we are now going to move our cameras across country from where Michael Gargiulo's summations will occur tomorrow, and then deliberation and then verdict, to where we did have a verdict on Friday night in the case of Nicole Nachman, who was accused of murdering her stepfather and her mother. Let's listen to the jury at 1 a.m. in the morning and what they told the judge. Wow, powerful closing by the prosecutor in the Nachman case. We have a special guest here on Law and Crime who's with Roger Foley in Florida where this case was tried. There it is. There he is, Red Baron. Now look at that. Look at that love. Here's lawyers staying home, taking care of his dogs because the dogs are scared of lightning. Now, if I'm a dog lover on that jury and I hear about the execution, Roger Foley, of the stepfather and all, and I'm saying, gosh, this young lady didn't treat her parents as well as she would treat, or some of us would treat, our animal friends, our dog children, and you're like Exhibit A there with Red Baron.
You know, the hardest part, Linda, is listening. As you hear that prosecutor talk, you know exactly what they're talking about, because the defense is making a mental health defense that she was insane at the time of the crime, but the facts that bear out that she has mental health, but someone who kills someone during a psychiatric moment where they're schizophrenic, where they think that someone is trying to harm them or Martians are coming, do not park their car a certain way, distance away, and try to conceal the crime. That's very important. And as we know, the insanity defense works very rarely, especially in Florida. And
we've seen cases in Florida. We had the John Jancha case, who had years of treatment and institutionalization. Here, there was no evidence, was there, Roger, of that kind of treatment? Now, maybe that's part of the defense, that there was no treatment, correct?
Well, I mean, that would be part of the defense, but here you have a young girl who's in school, who appears to be so disappointed, or her parents are so disappointed in her grades, that she's going to murder them. I mean, that in itself is insanity. But again, her mental illness doesn't seem to fit with what she did here. I mean, this is going to be a very difficult case for the defense.
Well, Gene Rossi, we're going to play some of the defense, but I just want to let you know that you used to be my favorite law and crime legal analyst guest, but you have been replaced by Red Baron, the Red Baron, who's with Roger. Red Baron is the cutest dog who's kissing Roger Foley right now. So I just have to let you know that, Gene.
Well, you know what's the definition of insanity? Trying to be Roger, trying to talk while Red Baron's licking his mouth. That's insanity.
Well, let's listen to what the defense did in this case, because the opening was by the public defender, which tells me a lot that they believed in this case. But let's listen to how the defense attorney said that this was a psychotic break from a woman who had schizophrenia who had never been treated. Now, the jury did ask for definitions of what psychotic break meant. Now, if you're the defense, you think that's good, don't you, Gene?
Oh, absolutely. I thought this closing argument by Miss Perse Folguera, I hope I didn't mispronounce it, was an A+. I don't care what the verdict was. It was an A+. One thing that struck out for me, my best friend from high school took his life, and before he died and took his life, he went around to all his friends and people and said basically goodbye. When she said that was sort of the suicide note, that struck a chord with me.
Interesting. So, Roger Foley, what that means is that jurors also look at evidence in the framework of their own lives, don't they?
Absolutely. We're a product of our own experiences. So even though we're supposed to use common sense, and common sense comes from our experiences. So, like, that hit a chord, with Rossi. It may have hit a chord with certain jurors because they've had experiences similar.
You know, we covered a lot of trials here on Law and Crime. As we see, we started with Gargiulo, who was the neighbor, somebody you really didn't know. And here, it's the family member, somebody you love, and you really are in danger. We know that from domestic violence cases, from somebody who thinks they love you or loves you, or somebody that you love. Yeah. And maybe that applies to Gargiulo, too. But I don't think it applies to the Red Baron sitting there. That is just the cutest picture. It takes us and just melts us, Roger Foley, with all the horror that we see and cover here on Law and Crime. We have to take, as you know, a quick break. Stay with us, and we'll be right back after this message with all of these cases.